Sachin, before we start on that, one change I would like to make in what you said. We are not looking, we are actually searching. Yeah. So because we keep on searching for enjoyment in the senses. We are not looking at enjoyment, we are searching for enjoyment, or rather seeking enjoyment. So the asad, which is pleasure, and adinava is a danger, nisarana is exiting from that, is we cannot exit because of seeking pleasure. We are pleasure seeking. So you are absolutely right. So when we played the whole video, me and my wife, we both sat and watched the complete one, as though somebody is saying and I'm listening. So it was very nice experience to cut oneself off and see as though somebody is saying it, meaning it didn't seem to me that I'm saying it and then we are discussing it, somebody who is saying it. So your question and your explanation was very good. The only thing what I felt is that we search, like you are absolutely right, when we see someone, we are searching for feminine rather than searching for a human being. Because we know that there is nothing in the human being, it's only in the feminine we are interested, and if it's a female, she is searching for a male. So that is how we are searching. Yeah, SN 15.9, correct. That's the right sutta for that. Okay, so let's continue on our topic. What we do now is that I will explain on both the ways how we can do it, how we can get into the nirodha samapatti, what really happens, and how we can know that it is happening to us. So first, let's take the Goenka tradition, or the Burmese technique. Why it is very good, what are the advantages of it, and when we should exit if we were to move forward in that, when we move forward in our lives and do as per sutta. So Sotapanna is a stage when the mind is fixed on Buddha Dhamma. Okay. Now this can be done in both ways, through pañña, wisdom, through citta. Citta is the mind purification, purifying the mind. Through that you can do it. For purifying the mind, you have to withdraw. So there is viviccehi kamehi, viviccehi akusala dhammehi. For that you need to create the necessary environment. So one of the best environment which in this current world or current era is VRI. There is no alternative to that. Why? Because on one side, for if I'm doing 10-day or a 20-day or a 30-day or a 45-day or a 60-day, for those number of days, the viviccehi kamehi, viviccehi akusala dhammehi is happening. No matter how much I can gain or don't gain out of it. But this much is happening. It's given. So viviccehi kamehi here represents the ability for everyone to experience the Arya Mauna, which is noble silence. Now, what is this noble silence is, you remove the 4 characteristics of speech and ensure that you don't see anyone or anything, and not indulge in anything whatsoever. Some people can't do it, but let's say I'm a very serious practitioner, then it becomes very easy, meaning it's something that you need to walk in the male quarters, so you can't obviously see the feminine parts, and the females cannot walk in the male quarters. In that way they can't imagine the male parts. So the kama chanda gets reduced, and you can't speak to anyone, and then you are in an environment where people are serving you. So generally after a few days you feel filled with gratitude. So it will remove vyapada. So it is actually creating a foundation for Brahma Vihara. So you have Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha, all that, not really in the strength as it should be, but it happens. Now let's say I get into the Vipassana Institute and I go for sign up for a 10-day retreat. So the 10-day retreat, I have a 3.5 days for Anapana, which is nothing but samatha, and the remaining days is for Vipassana. So 3.5 and 4.5, that becomes 10 days, or rather 4.5, correct, 9 days. 10th day anyway you're out of it. So 3.5, 4.5. So if I do a 20-day retreat, and then it will be 6.5 and something like 12. 12.5. Oh, sorry, 13.5. So 13.5 of Vipassana. So that's the ratio with which it is done. So that means I'm almost doubling in a 20-day retreat than a 10-day retreat. Irrespective of that, what is the thing I'm gaining out of it is that the 4 Vachi Sankhara, or rather the Vachi Sankhara, is calmed, because there's no way I can talk. It's not even I can make a symbolization, except for the assistant teacher and except for the volunteers. I can't talk anything. And the food is served, so I don't have to do anything. And then I need to wash my utensils, keep it back, and again continue on that regiment, meaning starting from 4 or 4:30 in the morning till night 9:30, you are only on that activity. It is the best thing that can happen for those people who are expecting to attain Sotapanna till that, meaning Sotapanna through Chitta, that is cleansing of Chitta. Okay. Now, as Sachin has done, and so Ashutosh, and I have only done one, but they have done much better than me. If we really see, is that for those number of days, then there is no interaction. So vivichehi kamehi vivichehi akusala dhammehi, then you get into savitaka savichara, like that it automatically happens. Now what is the advantage of this approach is that it calms the body, it calms the mind. It does both. So for 3.5 days, if I am watching the breath, what happens here is that the ability to concentrate on one particular subject becomes higher. That is what is required. How much can I do is a separate issue. That is a personal problem of mine, but I'm talking from the process point of view, not from whether I'm able to do it or can I completely do it. It is a secondary issue. It's not a primary issue. So basically what is required to become a Sotapanna? You require to have Arya Kantehi Sila. So by being a witness and by being not a person who is interacting with anyone, I can, for those number of days, not doing any, then akusala itself relieves the mind of any burden. So the sila is taken care. Arya Kantehi Sila is taken care. So Arya Mauna is about developing the Arya Kanta Sila. Okay. Now coming to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. BRI is a Sangha. So only those people who are interested in that tradition are there. That means no other persons are there. So the first Sangha is there. Dhamma here, anyway, whatever Goenka talks about it, it is coming from the Dhamma, whatever he says, day 1, day 2, or if we take a 20-day retreat, they have a different one, but basically on the Dhamma only. And the idea is to sit and meditate. That's the whole approach. And then the Buddha. So he's talking from the Buddha perspective, or the Buddha. This Vipassana, there are many Vipassanas you can have. So just to give you clarity, one is on the breath, what VRI or the Ledi Sayadaw method you were to take. Then if you take Paccavekkhana, that is 4 requisite, is another way of Vipassana. Then if you take 5 aggregates, another way of Vipassana. Okay. And then 6, that is 6 senses, Indriya. Observing the Indriya and ensuring that they don't go anywhere astray is another Vipassana. And Paticca Samutpada is the actual Vipassana. So the overall of all of this is Paticca, no matter what I take, whether I take the breath or this or that, it doesn't matter. But ultimately, Paticca Samutpanna is the Vipassana. So I should experience the 12 links, Patiloma, Anuloma and Patiloma. Ultimately, that is the thing. Whether I am in this mode of doing it or on that mode of doing it, it hardly matters. So basically, if I sit in the VRI, taking VRI as an example, now what is happening is I don't have to indulge with anyone for 10 days or 20 days or 30 days or 45 days or 60 days. So the fires, Raga, Dvesha, Moha, 3 fires, are reduced. So naturally, to whatever level the chitta has to get cleansed, will get cleansed. But if the parmis are there, that is, I have the dana parmi, then the sila parmi, and then I have the nekkhamma parmi, then I have the virya parmi, then the khanti, like that. If I add up all the parmis to some good level of parmi, it helps even more further. In what way? In the way that the mind body, that is, this involvement of the mind and body should get split up. Okay. So either I should get Udaya Vaya Jnana, or I should get this mind body connection has to be dropped. Now what's the way of dropping is when the senses, meaning if I am not talking to anyone and I am not seeing anyone and I am not hearing anything other than the dhamma of whatever Goenka is reciting, so it cleanses, it doesn't allow me to go into any other thing except for whatever is happening. So I can't talk in that dining hall. Whatever the number is given to me, I sit there. Just take it as much required so that you don't sleep in the class. So first day I might eat more, and then I realize that I'm dozing off, and then the second day, third day, fourth day, I will reduce my eating. So you see, it's automatically bringing a restraint in eating, restraint in sleeping also, because you have done so much, the nights, the sleep is very less. So when you are awake, you are again watching the breath. So you are always on that. There's no other thing except for watching the breath. So what's the advantage of this? The advantage here, if I go by this approach, I get into bhanga, dissolution. Now the question comes, is the dissolution Buddha has explained? In the sutta, you will not find it. But irrespective of it, you will find the other two, udayangama, attangama, arising and fall. Okay. Upadatiti bhanga is a thing which is of abhidhamma rather than sutta. If I really don't care about it, whether it is abhidhamma or sutta or whatever it is, I don't have to then worry about it. Then my aspect here is, can I see the dissolution of this body-mind complex? Namarupa, paricheda jnana. Can I have that? And it should happen to any meditator who, after introduced to Vipassana in the way Goenka's tradition or the Sayadaw or Ubakin, whatever that tradition is, that you should be able to penetrate inside the body, scanning inside the body other than outside the body. So when you do from both, loma, patiloma, that is, loma is outside the body, patiloma is inside the body, then the energies will start to interact. When I say energies, it is the vibration or whatever words we can use, using the sensations as the target, meaning I take sensations, Vedana, okay, as the key aspect to it, and I start working out. Very soon I'll find the body is gone, evaporated. How it evaporates is that you never had a body. It's a conceptual body. There is no real body. So you come out of the concept. So when the one reed is removed, the other is also removed. Meaning in the conscious, there is no experience about the body and the mind. Meaning in the chitta, you don't have an experience of the body, which is so light. Meaning now I don't have a body-mind connection. So that dissolution, when it happens, it's profound experience. Because now you go to the next stage where the senses are closed, like what I explained yesterday. So the tongue sense door, nose sense door has already got closed. So day 1, day 2 onwards, you will not have a no sense doors that much working. The tongue sense door, by 2 or 3 days, you will not have any interest over that eating in the morning and afternoon. In fact, if I am a regular practitioner, then in the morning I don't eat anything, only in the noon I am eating and no dinner. So basically it's one meal. So there's nothing to be taken. So I eat one fruit or whatever, and no tea, coffee also. So there's nothing for me except for coming at 11 or 11:30 to eat. So let's say I am a regular retreat going person. So then 2 meals are gone, only 1 meal, which is the best thing that can happen. So the taste sense is closed. Tongue. So smell and tongue is closed. Ears have got closed on from when I entered into the VRI, because I am not hearing anything other than the dhamma. The ear sense door is closed for world. I'm talking from the world perspective. Only thing available now is the eye sense door and the body sense door. So the eye sense door, I'm not supposed to see anybody eye to eye. So even if my friend were to come, I just see down and walk, like Shreyas was there. I'm not supposed to be talking or making any eye to eye contact with Shreyas. So the eye sense door is closed. Now comes a body sense door. For the body sense door, I am making the mind watch the sensation from the top of the body to the feet or to the toe, and again toe to the head all the time. That is, when I go back to my room and I want to sleep, there's no sleep which is coming. There's no, I'm not getting any sleep. Now I don't have to do anything. Just lie down, feel the touch of the body on the bed, and start doing Vipassana. There's nothing else I need to do. Maybe whenever 3 a.m., 2 a.m., whenever the sleep comes, or doesn't come, it is fair. I'm fresh next day. So with this approach, what has happened is that the 6 sense doors are closed, or 5 sense doors are closed. Only the 6th sense door is open. Now on the 6th day or on the 7th day, if you have practiced it correctly, you will attain bhanga. Now what happens? The nimitta in the mind is to react. You have forced yourself not to react. So by that time, 5th day, 6th day, the dhara pravaha or the free flow is happening across the body. You're not feeling anywhere there is any gross sensation. It's very subtle sensation, and it's like water flowing every part of the body. So you are enjoying basically that. We can call it as a blissful state, or you can say pleasant state, or sukha, or whatever we could call that state to be. So when I am seeing from the tip of my toe to the tip of my head, there's not even one part where there are no sensations. There is nothing like opaque, or there is nothing like I'm not feeling anything at all, or rather I'm not feeling any sensation anywhere. That is gone. Then the sensation itself will lead to that bhanga. Then what happens? Then the mind sense door, whereas you have a mano dhatu, the quality of mind, which is reflecting and seeing that what to do with it, just becomes still. This is the mind becomes still. Mind becoming still is Nibbana. So now when that happens, mano vinyana dhatu, the quality of the vinyana in the chitta, stops all defilement. There is a, what we can say, temporary suspension of the sankhara. So no sankharas are there, so no vinyana is there. No vinyana is there, no namarupa is there. No namarupa is there, no salaytana is there. No salaytana is there, no phassa is there. No vedana is there. No tanha is there. No upadana, no bhava, no jati, no jara, marana, soka, parideva. So you have experienced deathless. For that moment. Can be 1 minute or 1 second or 10 seconds, 100 seconds. The quantification doesn't make any sense. But you know you have attained it. You have no doubt. After coming out, now this is the words used by the Buddha, after coming out. Now the question comes, means you entered, then how do you get out? So then in the Mahavedala Sutta and the Chula Vedala Sutta, the same question is asked, and they say you have to do a nimitta of coming back. So Visakha asked the same question. And Visakha, please remember, he is an anagami. And he shouldn't be asking this question, the dhamma dinna. But he asked. Why? Because he has not attained through this. He has attained through the pañña vimukti. So that is a different thing. This is a different thing, and that is a different thing. Okay. Now, when it fades away in the sense, it cannot stay like that. Nothing is permanent, including this state. But you know you have attained the deathless state. So you know what is death and what is deathless. The 6 senses are death. You have moved beyond the 6 senses, which is deathless. So now you're very clear. Okay. Now when you come back to the experiencing of the 6 sense doors, you see it like a movie. You're not really interested in that, because now you've seen something far better than the 6 senses. So the sensual enjoyment at that moment in the chitta is reduced. That means what it was before the samapatti is now reduced. The only thing what Goenka or that Ubakin tradition calls this, that once you do this, you are a Sotapanna. Okay, now what if I have not done it? Am I not a Sotapanna? So then now these questions will start to arise. But basically, this is not the only way. You can go by the pañña way also. You don't have to necessarily go to the retreat and do all of this. But this is for those people who cannot get pañña. Because pañña is something which I cannot go to a shop and buy it.
Yeah, there are people who don't even know what Tripitaka word itself.
Exactly. So now that becomes difficult. Yes, yes, sir.
They don't even listen to Buddha also. They just listen to what Goenka says. When I say to these people, one of the teachers that I'm reading Suttas, he said, why do you read Tripitaka? Goenka said it's sufficient. So these are those people who are not interested in anything other than Goenka. For them to become Sotapanna is only this way.
Yes, absolutely. So if my objective is Sotapanna, my objective, or I don't call that a Sotapanna also, my objective is bhanga, dissolution. Doing the Goenka or Ubakin approach is the best thing that I could have ever done in my life. 1 retreat, 2 retreat, 10 retreat, 100 retreat, or how many hour retreat, I am willing to do it. Because it is something very great, honestly. Because everything is set up for you. The environment is good. Your state of mind is good. Why can't I take 10 days off in a year? What's the problem? Or a 20-day off in a year, or a 30-day off in a year, or for the whole, you think I can't spend time for myself rather than going on a vacation or somewhere? Why don't I do this? It's the best thing I could ever do. So there is nothing wrong if I book a retreat for 30 days or a 60 day and do it. That's absolutely good for me to do. Yes.
And there is something called Upato Bhag Vimutti. That also you explained.
Now that will be complicated. Anyway, first let us go through these two things. First, let us be clear on this. So the Sotapanna is my way of moving forward. Why? Because it will end in my, see, why is the reason why I should become a Sotapanna? If I were to ask this to myself, there are 5 things which will make me get into the apayas. Now the meaning of apaya, plus paya. Paya means foundation. Apaya is foundationless. Now what is this foundation? The consciousness can get established anywhere. It doesn't know it should not become a preta. It doesn't know it should not get into niraya. Okay, Sanskrit, naraka. English, hell. It doesn't know it should not take a form of a animal. Tirachayoni. Okay. Then it doesn't know it should not take the form of asura. Now the question comes, asura, is that another realm or is there a human being acting like an asura? Both. So they have huge bellies, and that's true, and they call themselves foodies. And they don't have anything called as moral. For them, everything, as long as they can get it, it doesn't matter. Moral and all, you keep it in the side and I will do what I want. So my want is the only want, and that's it. Nothing else will work. So I can call them as narcissistic or dual mentality or whatever I could call them, including those who keep on shouting, howling, doing whatever thing, and then they can wield power, they can slap, they can hit, they can kill, they can hit themselves, they can take a razor and cut themselves, and they can do all horrific activity without feeling a single remorse of what they are doing. They absolutely don't feel anything. They don't feel ashamed. There's nothing called like that. If you find such a people in life, you can see that they're asura in human form. So there's nobody called human, to be honest. We are all showcasing our own chitta. It's only the chitta which is coming out. There's no human body per se. So let's say, if I don't want any one of this and I want to turn myself as a human, manussa. So that's from 2 words, mana ussa. And in Sanskrit, mana urshana or mana ursha. Mana is mind, that is chitta, and ursha is above, increasing the height, then lower your higher. So this is the fifth realm what we are talking about. This man or human. So human generally have a little bit of kindness, okay, as his gift or whatever he has carried, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of appreciative joy. That means if somebody does something good, he appreciates that. And equanimity. These four are at a very basic level, because from there he can get into Brahma realm of existence. So that he is now gone out of these four lower realm. Now he is on the fifth realm, which is a stage, it's a center stage from where either he can go down or he can go up. So what Buddha has done is to ensure permanently this person doesn't go down. That is, the consciousness can never establish in any downward spiral realm. So if my objective, that means I have thought about myself and I feel Sotapanna is good enough, I don't require to be an Arahat or whatever. So what route should I choose? It's best I go by ceto vimukti rather than pañña vimukti. If pañña vimukti takes a long time than the ceto vimukti. And in the ceto vimukti, I don't have to do anything except for sitting and understanding this body. But in pañña vimukti, I have to do many things than what this is all about. So if somebody comes and tells me that, Vilas, you don't have to read sutta, you don't have to do abhidhamma, you don't have to do that, this is true. You really don't require, because objective is Sotapanna. That's it. Which is good. If you are able to stop rebirth in the samsara below, why not? It's the best thing I can offer. And it's good for everyone. Not only for me, for everyone. Now, yes, Yami, go ahead.
Why does the pañña vimukti take a long time? You said just takes a long time compared to the other one.
Pañña is wisdom, for which you need to have sila, samadhi, and then the pañña arises. See, I might get into a question that, why don't I do sila at home? And I know the answer, it cannot happen. Then there is no samadhi, so there is no pañña. Okay, so there's nothing I can do. Then we can ask, you mean to say by going to the retreat we get pañña? Yes, you get pañña of the dissolution of the body. That much is for sure. So now you tell me which is better. This is better. So I shouldn't be hating VRI, rather I should be loving it, because that's the best place for me to do if I am not a pañña vimukti person. Yes, Aryu.
So let's say you go to the retreat and you get this ceto vimukti and you become Sotapanna. Does that mean you will have unwavering faith on Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha?
Yes, you would. Because I'll tell you what is going to happen. I will also answer this. It's a good question. Once he breaks, he cannot meditate 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, so that will get screwed. So he will run back to the retreat to fix things up. Right? So now, Goenka said come after 3 months. That person will be desperate. If he has really experienced bhanga, and if his chitta, that is his sila, is destroyed or is broken the sila, the very next moment no bhanga is going to happen. But he knows he has attained it, right? Because every time he sits for 45 minutes Vipassana and 15 minutes, 15 minutes samatha, something like 50 minutes, 50 minutes of Vipassana, and the remaining is for Maitri Bhavana. If we keep it that way, he knows he has not got into Vipassana. Because the samatha itself will not happen. Forget about going further. That fellow, if he is serious practitioner, meaning if he has really experienced this Nibbanic state I'm not talking about I just go to the retreat and I spend my time 10 days and come back, and after a few days I stop doing that morning and evening. But if you have really experienced it, Nibbanic bliss, you will not like to lose it at any cost, and you will not be also, even if you want it, it will not go. Yeah, sounds like Ashutosh. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. So then you get addicted to it. The basic problem is you get addicted. Yes, May, go ahead. May, you have raised the hand.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Okay, so coming back to this, I'm not talking about those people who have not experienced Nibbanic state.
And in that tradition, it's not only for Sotapanna. See, first thing is this first experience of being Sotapanna is once in a million. Right? Everyone doesn't understand. Even I have not gone there. I just understand because I am reading all the sutta. But the ideal, what I'm saying that is, you can become Arhat this way also. And that counting is, first time if you get this experience, you become Sotapanna after that. And second time if you get that experience, you become Sakadagami.
Third time Anagami, fourth time Arhat.
Third time Anagami, fourth time Arhat.
Correct. And another way to see it is that you can get into that at any place, any time, any context. Whether you're in a bus or you're in a metro or you're in walking or you're talking or you're whatever it is, you can get into that state because you know how to reach there. It doesn't matter, are you will know it, how to enter into it, and you know how to exit from there also. Okay, it's very straightforward. It's nothing like, just like going to a movie. So you know you're going to the movie and the movie is ended. So you will start to see this whole life interacting with people like a movie. Okay, you went to a movie and somebody spoke and you speak, and he goes away and you go away, and that's it.
It's a scary movie. First time you will get so much scared.
Yeah, that's
But second time you know everything, so you don't get scared. You just go have fun and come back.
Yeah, the disillusion is scary. That much is true. And you lose yourself in that. That is also true. And you will have weird experiences. That is also true. You will have scary experiences. That is also true. You will have bone-chilling experiences. That is also true. You will have peaceful experiences. That is also true. You will have pleasurable experiences. That is also true. You might not have any experience, and yet you had experience is also true. So if you were to go and discuss with each person, he will give a different testimony of whatever it is. But actually what it is, the sixth sense door have to close. That's the only thing. How does it close? I've given you the steps. It doesn't happen on the first day. If you are a first timer, never happen in the first day, never happens on the second day. Some people get it on the third day. After Vipassana on the fourth day, people will start seeing something. Fifth, sixth, seventh. Within these 3 days, you should get it. If you don't get it, you will not get it in that. It's too late. Now again, you have to sign up for the next 10-day retreat. So be ready to go there again for the same kind. Yes, Sadu, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I have a question about this once, second time, third time thing. I've never really understood why it is set in such way. But let's say the first time, let's Sachin say 1 in a million, let's say, like you got it. But the second time, since you've done it once, second time should be much easier, right? You just do exactly the same thing.
It is easier. It is easier.
1 in 5, right? So the next time becomes
easier in the sense that you don't know how you enter and how you came back. You don't know, you cannot explain that. It's not like open the door and go out.
No.
The second time will be, 1 in 5 times you will become a psychiatrist.
Wait for a second. So let me explain to you what it is. Anusha, just give me a second before I finish. I'll just finish with Aryu. So keep your question handy. Aryu, it's like this. First time you entered without knowing. You didn't anticipate. And another thing, if you anticipate and sit, nothing is going to happen. All the 10 days will go by. That's all. And you go to the next retreat, another 10 days will go by. Another 10 days will go by. And after that, you get frustrated of it. This is, yes. Yes, Sachin.
And particularly people like us who are pañña vimukti path, they will never experience because they know everything.
Yes. So now this is for those people who can do animitta one, or just go by what the teacher is saying. In this case, Goenka. Blindly follow it. Don't question, don't argue, don't do anything. Just he says, watch the breath, watch a breath coming in your right nostril or left nostril, or both the nostril, touching here, touching there. Just go blindly and do it. Call it as madness, call it by whatever name you want, and that is what it is. So let's say you attain first time. Second time, there is an anticipation. It's not going to work. No matter you have done exactly the same thing the first time. It takes time. Why? Because Kamachanda is there. In a Sotapanna, Kamachanda is there. But he knows he had attained the deathless. Okay, and he starts worrying. See, now all the 5 hindrances also will come. He'll start worry. Udacha. Or rather, Kukkucha will come. That is worrying. Oh, I did some mistake, and he starts remorse. He says, he thinks that I went to this center and it happened. Now he goes to another center. He feels that that center only will happen. So he will go only that center and that seat where he had done. And unfortunately, somebody else is given that seat. He goes mad. He wants to sit in that seat. And the teacher says, you sit here or there, it is the same. He says, no, last time I was here. So he has to let go of all of those things. And it takes time. Okay, the first time.
And because of that urge itself, it becomes now more difficult.
Yes, so the door is closed. Forget 6 sense door. Even closing 1 sense door itself will take 10 days for him. It's gone. Next 10 days he has to book it. So 3 months he has to desperately wait. In that his parmi is reduced. So again he has to go to the 10 days and the next 10 days and 20 days and 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. God only knows when the second time will happen. Now when the second time it happens, he can see the light on how he attained it. Because the Kamachanda and Vyapada has reduced. So now he can see. Meaning, if he is sitting in a bus and he closes his eyes, in 5 minutes he is on the same ceto vimukti as he had done earlier. So he doesn't now, he stops believing that VRI place was doing it. He feels that, I can do it anywhere. Forget that seat, this seat, how does it matter? So second time takes more time than the first time. Then the third time, you see here, the Kamachanda and Vyapada has to completely get erased. So what happens the third time is the duration starts to increase. That is, the ceto vimukti duration is increased. Anagami is a stage when ceto vimukti is for a long time. Meaning he can stay in the state for days together. I'm talking about this way, not the pañña way. I have not yet come to the pañña. This way. That means he will close his door. For 1 week he can sit there without food, without anything. He can exit. Okay. This is what he can do. Anagami. Fourth stage, where he can say, I will be away from this home for 1 year. So just like you lock everything up and go, you can lock this body up and go wherever you want. That's the 4. So you have seen the deathless first time, deathless second time, deathless third time, and deathless fourth time. And every time you come back, you know that you have come to your home, meaning this body. And you don't care because now you have seen the deathless. Death is to the body, not to you. That means you are getting out of the body. So there is no death per se. Because the fear is what? Letting go of body and mind. Now you know that there is no body, there is no mind. So you just feel very happy. Okay, now I have to come back, I have to come back. So only the Jivit Indriya, the battery, till the battery doesn't get exhausted, what's your problem? You can just sit and enjoy. So whatever comes, comes. This is how it is. Yeah, Anusha, you had a question.
Yes, Vilasji, I just want to clarify the difference, the practical experience during what it meant by arising and passing, A, and B is what is dissolution. What's the experiential way one could experience the dissolution state and arising and passing state? Thank you.
Yeah, now you are coming on the pañña side of it. So I have to wait to answer. But on this side, arising and passing away is of the sensation which is arising and passing away. You're basically observing the sensation being here and there and there and here. So you can see that it is everywhere, and then you can't really point out and say that where the sensations are. And especially when you have a free flow, the sensation is so subtle, you start enjoying those sensations basically. So it's when we talk about dissolution, which is actually nirodha, is a stage when you see it like this. The paticca samutpada, the patiloma, you start to see it. When I say seeing it, is that you literally penetrate into the paticca samutpada, the formula. Iti imasmim sati idam hoti imasa upada idam uppajjati. So this comes to be with the arising of this arises. So now you know how this I came into existence, and then how the asavas came into existence and all of that. So you have seen the anuloma side of it, which is arising, and the cessation side of it, which is nirodha. So you are seeing both of them. So arising, passing in the quick succession is feelings which are coming and going, or the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. That is arising and ceasing, or arising, passing away. Udayangama, attangama. And if you are asking me the udaya and vyaya, or udaya, or rather samudaya vyaya, and also about loma, patiloma, or the arising aspect of it and the complete cessation, that is nirodha. It's a patisamutpada. So you will experience the dissolution of the whole cycle of suffering. Yes, 1 minute, are you? She opened up her mic and closed it. Yes, Anusha, go ahead.
Thank you, Vilasji.
Okay. Yeah, are you?
Just a quick question. When you say experience the paticca samuppada cycle, just any link is sufficient, right? You don't need to know this.
Sotapanna. That is paticca samutpanna. You will experience the first thing is paticca samutpanna, not the paticca samutpada per se. Nobody can experience like that. You will take two links, just like Vipassana. You take two links and then you get a light of wisdom on the two links. Any of the two links, let's say the death and birth, two links.
Yeah, just any two. If you break that, that's sufficient. You don't need to say everything under.
You don't. And then it will automatically take you to the patisamutpada. Iti imasmimi sati hoti idam uppada. That whole cycle, anuloma and patiloma, you will experience. So that pañña is experienced once in the Sotapanna, once in the Sakadagami, once in the Anagami, once in Arhat. So you got the point. So now the cessation has happened. The sixth sense door are no longer allowed for anything to enter. So the mind becomes still. It's stilled up. And that is the Nibbana Dhatu. Dhatu is quality. So Nibbana quality is what? Unchanging, eternal, whatever you want to put that as. Unconditioned, asankata, uncreated. Instead of unconditioning, we can say uncreated. You cannot create that environment. There's nothing called creating environment. For everything else, you have to create an environment. But for this, there's no environment to be created, because there's no environment as such to create. So if I were to explain what is that uncreated environment, I have to give theories. There's nothing.
These people used to say, these non-dual people, you are always there. Actually, you have come here in the field of five aggregate, in the field of the six sense. You have come here, but while you are here also, you are always there. And in Pali, we can say that Nibbana Dhatu. Dhatu means which is universally available. So right now, I also have Nibbana Dhatu. You also have Nibbana Dhatu. In English language, we can say that you never come and go. You are always there.
Yes, exactly. There's no coming and going. That's the reason to Bahya he says, na tena, na tatta, na ubhayam antare. Neither there, nor here, nor in between. Right? And that is the end of suffering. So, through VRI, through whatever methodology, through POC tradition, through whatever meditation techniques I can get into this stage of deathless. This state, this way of doing it is ceto vimukti. Clear? Now come to the pañña vimukti. Now we will take this example of Asaji talking to Upatissa. He didn't ask him to sit in the ground for, you come to my retreat, I will give you a complete walkthrough and then you will become this or that. He only said, I don't know much of Dhamma, but my teacher knows it, so I will tell you what it is. So, hetu pabhava. Ye Dhamma hetu pabhava. Then he says, this Dhamma is known to the Tathagata. Tathagato aha. But he was able to penetrate. What did he ask? Okay, I understood. He said, whatever, yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam iti. And he left. But that made him a Sotapanna. He never went to VRI and waited for bhanga to happen. Now this way of going is pañña. Now we can say Sariputta already had the necessary sila, he had samadhi, etc. But we don't know, because Sariputta and Moggallana, before they became Sariputta and Moggallana, they were enjoying their life. They were going for parties and they were with women, they were having fun, and then they got tired of it. So the pañña here is to get tired of sensuality. That's the secret sauce. If I am not tired of sensuality, then I better go to VRI. Forcefully I have to get tired of sensuality.
Disgusting, that feeling of disgust.
Disgust has to come. Jiguccha. Okay. Now, what I do, like Anusha and her friend Karu, so we were discussing, and she has experienced this watching a Punnaji video. Now the question comes, can somebody get it? Is it so simple? Why? Anybody can get it. Why only Anusha? Anybody can get it. Provided they are able to penetrate. That's all. Now if I ask that person, have you experienced deathless? Can you explain to me? Person says, I don't know what are you talking. No, the bhanga will happen. When the body splits up, the mind is gone, the nama and rupa are not there. This person feels, I have not experienced anything like that. Then you are not a Sotapanna. Now the fight erupts between the person who feels he's a Sotapanna and a no Sotapanna, all of this. That's not the thing. If you are able to understand, if anything that arises will pass away, meaning if you create anything, you are able to see that it passes away. Let's take example, Anusha. Instead of I keep on taking my own example, rather I'll take Anusha. She knows Anusha is a created one. There is no person called as Anusha. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam. The dhamma, the thing. What's the thing? Anusha is the thing, consisting of 32 parts of the body. There is no person called Anusha per se. Instead of calling Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danta, Tacho, Mamsam and all that thing, we are calling her as Anusha. And she knows she is called as Anusha because there is no other way to put it. So, Yam Kinchi Samudaya Dhammam. Kinchi is little. Even a little created one, Samudaya, horizon, like in the sunrise. Sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. All those dhamma will cease. Now, don't you see when you sleep, no Anusha is there for herself? She can't experience because the Attangama has happened. On the same day, forget the next day, the same day. Isn't it an beautiful experience? That's sufficient to be a Sotapanna. There is no need for me to sign up for a VRI class of 10 days. Now, can I experience Patisamutpada or Patisamutpanna? Yes. How? Jati, one side. Jara Marana, other side. If Anusha has a Jati, and if the sunrise is happening like this, will it not enter sunset? Simple. So, morning breakfast, gone. Afternoon lunch, gone. Evening dinner, gone. And Anusha is also gone. So, that's it. Over. Can I see it like this every day? Yeah, you see it. Who's stopping you? But problem is the Nivarnas will come and the Asavas will come. So, you will not be able to see this all the time. So, you have understood the deathless. Even while talking, you might get it. That's the reason in many suttas, when Buddha is giving a talk, so many people became Sotapanna. Why? Because they are able to penetrate and say, yeah, he's right. My name is gone in the night itself. Forget about whether I'll die 100 years from today. Even in the night, nobody knows who am I. So it is a created one. There is no person like that. What a stupidity of mine. All that I am saying I am alive is 18 hours. Or 14 hours. Or if I sleep for 10 hours, then it's 14 hours. What is a person? There's nothing. Where is a dog? No. Where is a cat? No. Where is a rat? No. Where are the birds? No. Where are the devas? No. Where are the Brahma? Nothing. So all these named forms ceases, nirodha, by night. Over. So if you penetrate for yourself, you see the deathless, amata. Mrita is, you are alive, everything is dead. Right? You think you are alive, but everything is dying. So now you feel that should not die, this should not die, I should not die. Right? And now you see, every created one will die. So don't create. If you don't want dying, don't create. So in the mind, I cut the creation. Sankata is creating it. I am not creating it. So anicca, sankata, paticsamutpanna, khaidama, vaidama, viragadama, nirodha. These four are dhammas. Khaya, vaya, viraga, nirodha. They don't ask me. Like the sunrise has happened here and sunset has happened there. And in for May and Anusha, they are on today's 19th, right? 19th of March evening. Whereas for Ariyu, it is 18th of March night. Isn't it stupid? If you really see, if 18th March was a guaranteed one, why for one morning, night, while for the others, it is, for me, it is day, just the day has begun. For the other part of the world, it is already evening. It is samudaya and vyaya or attangama, whatever I want to call. So can she now stop it? No. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam iti. Now you remember, I don't have to penetrate 5 aggregates. I don't have to penetrate deeper dhamma, patisamutpada, patisamutpanna. That will happen only when you go beyond Sotapanna. So if a question is asked, are you, for you or for me or Anusha, are you an Sotapanna? And if somebody believes or disbelieves, that shouldn't be your reasoning. The reasoning here is, do you see arising and passing away of everything? That's all. Anything that is created will get destroyed. The very moment it gets destroyed, forget about later. Because sunrise will not remain as sunrise. You will have to keep on naming something. You will have to say forenoon, then you have to say noon, then you have to say evening, then you have to say night. So you have to keep on naming it. But as far as sun goes, he is not saying, oh wait, you didn't tell me I am in forenoon. Okay, I will wait for you. No. The sun keeps on coming and going away. It doesn't matter what you are calling that as. It's my nimitta. So why I should create nimitta? So I can make animitta. So Anusha is an animitta. So I remove the animitta. So nimitta is gone. This is pañña vimukti. I'm not talking about ceto vimukti. Pañña, which is prajna or wisdom. The wisdom dawn. Chakku mudapadi. Now you see, if I were to go by that, I can say Chakku mudapadi, jnana mudapadi, pañña udapadi, aloko udapadi. So now all the 4 udapadi I can see. I'm seeing anything created is going to go to destruction, so I will not worry about it. So vilas is created in the morning, in the afternoon, in the noon, in the forenoon, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the night. But after that person has gone into attangama, is that person alive? No. In the same way, do I have a wife? No. In the same way, do I have a husband? No. Do I have a child? No. Do I have a home? No. Do I have bank balance? No. Do I know I'm in India? No. Do I know I'm in Australia? No. New Zealand? No. America? No. Do I know this world? No. Do I know the other world? No. All of them dissolved. So if you are asking me, bhanga doesn't happen in pañña vimukti, you are seeing that. You don't have to struggle by going to a retreat. You can just see this much and you are done. Yes, Sari.
So I guess what is the difference between, let's say, a Sotapanna's understanding of this arising and passing versus a normal person would have said, I know this sun, will rise and pass. It's a deeper feeling.
See, I'll tell you what. Don't we know that we are aging? Everybody knows. But are they not taking care of themselves by painting, by doing something? They know. They know it is morning and this evening. Are they worried about that night? No. They know they are available next day morning. The difference between, yes.
So I guess the identification with the body and mind being so strong, it prevents them from truly seeing the fact that it's past.
They don't see, that's the reason, Kachayana Gotta Sutta, beautiful one. Buddha says, people are fighting for two reasons, either atti natti, exist, not exist. If they see for themselves, if they believe only it exists, they are missing the dissolution. If they are seeing only dissolution, they are not seeing the arising. This applies for everything. Now you see this fun. This is called stitching. In the chitta, it stitches. What stitches? Craving will stitch. I know I'm sleeping. I'll say good night, sweet dreams, right? And I sleep. A normal person. That is puttujana. Okay. Now, what is puttujana? In Sanskrit, prutajana. Meaning the person is like an onion peel. He doesn't have anything inside there. His skill is so bad, he doesn't know what he is doing. So now, let's take a prutajana or puttujana. What he does? He sleeps. He believes he is going to wake up tomorrow morning. Right? And it is day as usual, right? So yesterday was what day? He will say, you don't know. Yesterday was Monday. Today is Tuesday. And in 1 week time, I'm going to that place. After a few weeks, I'm going to this place. And he is in that. He is in preparation. He's always in sankhara, creating something, preparing something, creating something, preparing something. He's ready. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to do this. I want to do that. This artificiality is seen by the Sotapanna as a wisdom. He knows he doesn't exist the next day because he's seen the dissolution. You got the point? And he has seen the arising aspect also. That is, when vilas arises, everything arises. When vilas ceases, everything ceases. Isn't it or not? If vilas were to arise from the bed, the wife also arises in his mind. Whether the wife has really arisen or not, secondary. His son arises. His house arises. His money arises. All of those attached things will arise. Then it comes to the morning, then forenoon, then afternoon, then early evening, then evening, then late evening, then night, and dissolution. Between the time of dissolution here and arising, vilas is dead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm just kind of thinking why it is such. I guess from my point of view, I guess maybe there'll be a lot of fear that's blocking them from truly seeing the dissolution of things.
You can add whatever adjectives you want. They have fear, they have this, they have danger, they don't know danger. You can add whatever. Pañña is wisdom. You will see it for yourself. Now we can't testify on other person. The difference between a Sotapanna and a Puttujana, it is like an idiotic thing. I'll tell you why. It's because how can you define an Sotapanna on a Pañña? Can you define? That was the argument between me, Karu and Anusha. And he stopped coming all together into our talks because it was unbearable for him to accept for the fact that Anusha has penetrated. Yes. Yes, May, go ahead.
I found that it was useful when you last gave me an example. Like you said, does the husband really exist? It's only when you're home and it's in your mind, really. You go to work and the husband or the children are suddenly gone. Nothing to do with it. And you're whoever you are at work. And then you go to the school pickup and you're suddenly not whoever you were at your work. And, you're not thinking that you're the wife or anything. You're just the mother there to go pick up your kids. And you go home, you see the husband. Now the husband exists again. So that I think that was useful when you told me that.
Yes. See, the thing is like this, Aryu. If you're seeing the change in forms, meaning like what she rightly said. So I and May had this discussion. Do you really know your husband? No, only when he appears, you call him as a husband. Otherwise, there's no husband. See, when she is in the hospital dealing with patients, does she know there's a husband? Does she know she has children? Does she know she has a house? No, it's with the patient. Only when she goes to pick up her daughters and then she finds no husband there, she becomes a mother and children. So her association is only that much. Only when she comes home, she doesn't find her husband. She finds the home. And when she sees somebody coming, and immediately the conscious experience comes that, he is my husband. Isn't it unreal? Tell me, does a Puttujana come to know of this? He takes it as real. His real wife, his real children, or her real wife, her real children, her real husband, her real house, everything. A Sotapanna knows that it is created. Sankata. How did he come to know? Or how did she come to know? With one single word. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhamma. Now I might have an argument. That means everybody will come to know of it. No. And everybody going to VRI also will not get bhanga. I'm telling you.
I guess the key difference of someone penetrated Dhamma is that you understand there's such thing as sanya, right? The perception is different from the form. That's a key difference.
Yes. So whatever way we put it, you will be breaking the 5 aggregates. So now, let's take example of Anusha. Anusha, you can talk for yourself also. I don't want to fill in for you. So a question is asked. Have you understood 5 aggregates? If you have understood yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam, you have already understood 5 aggregates. That means you have understood the rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana. Not in a very theoretical angle, but he has penetrated or she has penetrated into it. So there is no need for that person to get into knowing that did I understand rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, vijnana to become a Sotapanna. Sotapanna is a stage when one or more of the Buddha Dhamma, the Dhamma aspect is seen. It need not be this or that or whichever one you want. Only from Sotapanna, you start your formal education into Buddha Dhamma, because now you have unwavering faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and your sila will not be broken because you are able to penetrate it in the first place. You can't penetrate without that. Like the examples I'm giving you is coming without me preparing any write-up or something, and I will talk like this. Oh, if Aryu asks this question, I will answer him this way. If Anusha asks a question like this, I will answer in this way. No. So then ultimately...
Yeah, but Bhikkhu Punaji is, he has this theory of shutdown. I remember that. I have listened to many of his videos, and according to him, brain shutdown will happen, and within few days or within few hours, you will come back. And only then,
yeah, the brain shut down. See, when that is where my confusion. When I spoke to Vilasji, and he a few years ago very clearly explained, because I also was under the impression that it's an unconscious state, because I was trying to compare it with nirodha samapatti, where you go into deep sleep that you know nothing about. So there was that thing that some other Theravada monks were talking about. But when the shutdown happens, the awareness was there. It's just that it's like everything shuts down, yet the vijnana, the awareness, not the you, just the blank awareness. So for example, I think I did explain it to Vilasji once, like sometimes it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes the eye meets an object, but no thought arises. So there are two ways of operating the brain now, in my case, where sometimes you just see something and you're just blank. You can see it, yet there is no thought arises. But if somebody asks what it is, I would say this is a screen. But at that moment of that split second of seeing, it just blank. But there are other moments you see and a flash of a lightning, TV, either a picture will come and move. That is what I see as arising and passing. Yankinchi samudeda. So the phenomena is, so because the sati is very strong now, you immediately see either a TV screen, a mental image that comes and goes with a split of a second, or the word TV comes and goes in a split of a second. So basically the both phenomena is aware as soon as you see it. So both ways it happens.
Good one. Thanks, Nusha.
I wanted to listen, but I could not listen. That sentence, that let's say you are seeing a table. Normally, you don't perceive the table as table, but when you perceive it, you see some lightning, something you are saying, right? You can see arising of perceiving table as table.
No,
No.
the TV.
There are, okay, experientially, how this brain works at the moment, there are three ways that it happens. Okay, it automatically happens. Sometimes, I would use the word I, obviously. The eye can see something. Let's say I see a table and the awareness is not there. So immediately a thought would come. I don't see, the thought comes and goes. I get hooked onto the table and I then start thinking, oh, I bought this table yesterday. So that means I am totally unaware. So that awareness is not there. The sati is not happening. So I get caught in the middle of that word. Thought comes and goes, but I get hooked onto the Vedana, I think, automatically. So that is where suffering for me, that is gross level of suffering. So then again, the second scenario happens. The eye meets the table, yet there is no thought comes. The eye meets something in front, but it's blank. You're just gazing at it. It's totally blank. There is no thought as a table or a mind or a third, nothing comes. You are just blank.
Correct.
And it's like a peripheral awareness, a very vast, spacious awareness.
Okay.
That is what I think is nirodha, because at that time there is no identification with the object in front. The subject and object has penetrated, as merged as one. So therefore there is nothing that, there is no I am here and the table there. There is no I coming into the feeling part, and there is no table as a concept comes. So that's the second type. Third type is the table comes. So when the eye sees the object, with a fraction of a second, the alertness is so sharp, the sati picks up either an object, like a table picture runs through the brain, or the word table comes to the mind and just vanishes. And that is seen with another chitta, another mind. So the awareness is there very. So those are the three ways that it operates. So my way of doing now is so three ways. So when it's the first time it's happening, the grasping, I know the full dukkha is there. The second one, nirodha, is there. The middle one, where identifies, but from another mind, you see that it comes flashing and going. You then have that capacity to detach and just be the witness. I hope I explained it.
Beautiful.
Yes, perfect, beautiful. Actually, I hope it would have been recorded, but we have to.
No. This portion I will keep it, not her experience.
Yeah. So the first, I think, see, in first case, let me interpret my way. In first case, she is attached to the memory of Panchupadan Khanda. In second case, she is detached. And in third case, she is actually seeing, witnessing as a third party, arising and passing away of this knowledge. Yeah. So the knowledge, Panchupadan Khanda, is dukkha.
So my practice is the more and more you can be the subject-object witnessing, like more and more now that practice has kicked in. So let's say somebody scolds me, right? Sometimes automatically unawareness goes with it, so obviously nothing can be done. Sometimes a person can scold and you're blank. Sometimes the person is scolding, the Vedana happens, but the brain has touched something that itself, it breaks away from that Vedana. Vedana is not me or mine. Yet the hearing was there. Obviously, the Dukkha Vedana has happened because it has scratched. Yet, if I don't attach the Vedana, you're just a witness. So after a few seconds, it goes away. So the moment we have awareness of the Vedana without grasping, it comes and goes. So that is why I think when Vilasji explained to me very thankfully few years ago, Yankinchi samudaya dhamman sabbantan nirodha dhammati. And now it's just that everything that happens is just arising and passing as long as the mind doesn't see it as me and mine. I think we can reduce to some extent the dukkha. It is the unawareness, not having the satya is the problem. That's what I think. I may be wrong.
No, you're not wrong. You're right. And sadhu for that. Nice way of putting it. Good. I'm very happy from yesterday's talk of Sachin and today's your talk. It's very, what I can say, encouraging. Yes, Aryu.
I feel like since we have this cutting thing, maybe I can share a little bit. I don't think anything as in depth as Sachin and Anusha, but I mean, this is what happened to me and maybe I can share.
Yeah, please. Why not? Go ahead.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is 2021, so it's like a few years back, but so it's a little vague, but basically I think that's kind of what I think is how I penetrated Dhamma, is that I think I was watching my breath, and I was always watching my breath 4 a.m., 3 a.m., because back then I'm sleeping meditation all the time. So I'm good at that. I'm still not good at sitting, but I'm keeping on watching my breath, and one day it's very hard for me to breathe, and it's painful. I was breathing. And then as I was breathing, I think I watched it for a pretty long time. And suddenly it becomes, I was thinking, Vilas was saying that be the observer. Imagine a light was shining in the room. And you're just watching and you're not judging anything. So I was trying to feel that I'm a light shining in the room on this experience. And I think for one moment, I forgot the detail, but one moment I felt like it becomes so easy. Everything become very easy. Like that there's not that I'm breathing, there's breathing. And then there's feeling and the perception also coming. And I see if it's arising and there's no attachment to it, there's no suffering. So I think in the end, I wrote to Vilas, if the feeling and perception and all those are not grasped, there's absolutely no suffering. And then one thing I felt was that I understood immediately what Eckhart Tolle said. Like there, he said the power of now, right? And I understood there's only now. There's no time. There's only now. And then this is, and I feel like this, it's always there, that kind of feeling. It's just the background, right? That this experience is the background. So I think the following day I was walking around and I feel like there's the next day I went to the roller coaster. I felt like I cannot die because I feel like if I'm always the background, then there's nothing can happen to me. That's kind of the feeling I was feeling.
Yeah, so you have touched the deathless.
From which part of it?
You don't fear death at that moment. Whatever you said just now on the roller coaster.
Pañña vimukti is question is.
Yes. So you might not know that you have become a Sotapanna. You might not know. See, it's at that moment the preparations or volitions are ended. And because the sankharas no longer take shape, the asavas don't come into existence. So asava pachaya avidya pachaya sankhara. So because of that, you don't have this cycle of suffering, right? So that's all what has happened. So
grasping. If there's no grasping to the feeling, there's no suffering, right? And then
exactly. So in whichever way you take it, you make it as an observer or whatever, but it has worked. So this way of doing is pañña vimukti, meaning you have penetrated through wisdom. Now, why furthermore wisdom is not coming is a separate issue altogether. But initially, if you had to come to in the Buddha Dhamma, you will become a Sotapanna. So now you have. So there shouldn't be any doubt in your mind whether you're a Sotapanna or not a Sotapanna, whether I'm this or that or whatever. Right? So you can know it for yourself. Anusha can know for herself, and Sachin can know for himself. In fact, Shreyas also has a good experience. So even though he has come out of VRI, that doesn't mean that, oh, he should have done that and then he would have got in to know what is Sotapanna. Need not be.
I feel like for me, the strongest experience is the now feeling, right? There's only now. If you're in the present moment, then there's no,
which is what the deathless is, my dear friend. That is what is deathless.
No, you have to further go and say remove, there is no space also. This is my experience. First, I get rid of time, then I get rid of space.
Correct.
And then I become stable.
Yeah, so time and space dimension will go away. So basically, are you in whichever way? Eckhart Tolle, what you mentioned, the power of now, is nothing but staying in that moment where there is no past, there is no future, and there is no present as the tying off as a present. Right? So the amata, deathless, or amrita, is when your mind doesn't go in the past and the future and the present, it just gives up whatever it is holding on to.
I will share a link from this Rupert Spira. He's actually non-dual guy, but he's teaching different kind of Vipassana. So he calls it tantric within, grounding in the body. And the way he's explaining, it is totally different. The way I look at my sensation, the way he's telling to look at sensation is totally different. That way, if you look, you will become spaceless.
Yes.
I will share that link.
Yeah, sure. See, ultimately, a Sotapanna can now, after becoming Sotapanna, can experience the Rupa Jhanas, Arupa Jhanas. He can get into infinite space more easily than a normal person. Okay. So, because the suppression of thoughts need not have to happen. When the samatha is not really required, he can do the Vipassana and come into that. So, basically, we can go into further more detail some other day or next time when we meet. There are a lot of details I can give you. I don't know whether so much of detail is required, but you have only 2 vimuktis presently. What we can do, the third vimukti, we can take it next time. Meaning, we'll meet up on Thursday. We'll give a break of tomorrow. Let us decipher what we have understood. Thursday, I will allow him to explain what he thinks, what he just now said on that vimukti, and then we will take it up. Yes.
Hi, you are saying?
Yeah.
No, I don't know much about it. Actually, I just think it is combination of these two. That's not much.
No, it's okay. Fine. So I want Sachin, you to explain to me to whatever you know of that, and then we'll see how this looks. It's a very nice one to have that also. So let us deal with that. Yes, Aryu.
No, I guess I was just thinking on what you said, the difference between ceto vimutti and pañña vimutti. Pañña vimutti is that with the experience, you are able to detach. But the ceto vimutti is only when there's no experience, then you can detach. So you can say it's the key difference.
Samatha is ceto vimukti. Vipassana is pañña vimukti. Samatha is sitting meditation is ceto vimukti. Living meditation is pañña vimukti.
Yeah. See, in both, Vipassana is required. In both. And when you do Vipassana, you are seeing things as they are, not as they are conditioned. Got it? So in both the state, you will enter the deathless, because animitta is going to happen, the napanita is going to happen, shunyata is going to happen. Irrespective of whichever route you take, whether you take sitting or you take in anything, right? It doesn't matter. The key thing is Vipassana, and the Vipassana is the Patisamutpada. Ultimate truth is Patisamutpada. This arises, this doesn't arise, this doesn't arise. Okay, so the death arises because birth is there. The sunrise is there, the sunset is going to be there, irrespective whether I like it or I don't like it. So basically what I am trying to see is, if Vilas were to exist, he has to have a sunset, no matter what he does. So this is the...
And for the sake of practice, even though Nama Rupa can be anything, apple or bottle, but when you are contemplating, apply to yourself only.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Sachin, for the sake of practice, Sachin and this body is the Nama Rupa.
Exactly. So there's no point. And Ajata Bahidda, you have to do it within only. So it's better rather than doing with external object. Okay, so when I do a Mahasati Patthana, which is what we started with, I wanted to do that, is that you do everything in this, centering this, because this is the one I need to understand. This mind-body complex is what I need to understand than anything else. If I understand this, I have understood everything.
Exactly. And many a time I raced into I am just the body, because the other thing I have to contemplate and I think I have to use my mind to tell me that I am just awareness, to tell me that I am this witness. But I am just this body is very comfortable for me to rest onto.
Yeah, whatever you feel happy on resting on, you should do it. And everybody has to take their own resting place. Just because Sachin body is good for you, for another person it can be something else. So wherever they are comfortable resting on to, they should take that. Even in Buddha says that you have to rest on something which you know will not make you feel attached. So you take that which there's no attachment. You don't develop attachment, including Buddha Dhamma, including Dhamma itself. You shouldn't feel attachment. Okay, so we spent a good amount of time. Thanks everyone for sharing. I appreciate all the three of you. I think we'll hear through May and Shreyas. Next time we'll meet. Let them share their experience on that. Okay, and just to tell you, Aryu, that I know that you are a Sotapanna, so you don't have to keep on pricking yourself with a needle and, seeing whether I am or I am not. Don't get into that, because that will stop furthermore development. You see from now what you can do rather than thinking, am I not, am I not? No. If you, what you said just now on the roller coaster ride, where you did not have fear, that's it. That's the end of it. Whether you arrived it through that book what you gave, mind illuminated, or this or that, or some meditation like what we were doing in Bodh Gaya, or your interaction with me in Bangalore the first time and the second time, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is, yes.
Yeah. No, there was fear, but there's like a different thought that feel that cannot die, but that there's natural fear, but there's
that you
almost...
leave it. No, that you leave it. Whatever appeared at that time is a key thing. After that, it will go away. Otherwise, you are an arhat. See, you and I need to understand something, is that The difference between you and I can sustain for a long time, you cannot sustain that for a long time. That's the only difference. Or with any one of you. But we are all our trainees only. Please try to understand. There's nothing like, I finished the journey and I'm doing it. No. There is some more steps to go. We will cover those steps also next time when we meet. But we covered till 8. Until 6 is where you would do as a Sotapanna. So when you break a precept, you will fear. Like, I still remember last year when we went to, last year, I think, when we went to Bodh Gaya with me, you, Shreyas and Ashutosh, right? You started crying in Patna airport. Why it happened? None of the people were crying. They all had come to Patna only. But what stuck you? It stuck you on two things. One, the very deprived state of the child and the parents, and the fear of getting reborn in that place. Isn't it a difference you can find, or you still feel that no, not like that? No, you were concerned. You asked me so many number of times. So that, how many people got in the airport? Tell me that. Just think and tell me. Or like you, there were 20 people who were crying. So at least we can say that 20 people are Sotapanna. No. They were on their own. So all are Puttujana, right? They came by the same road.
I mean, they're used to it. I mean, for me, it's a shock.
See, used to or not used to shouldn't be the way of see. See, everybody is used to in some way. You think in America there's no poverty? There is. But how you see it differs. Right? So that's the difference you can make out. But if you think that that's very trivial, okay, now I don't have answers to that. Okay, so we need to appreciate that. I, Shreyas, are from this country, so we have seen, but we still feel. There's nothing like we don't feel, or even for that matter, Sachin, he feels.
Yeah. Moment of pañña, aha moment which we call, will not repeat again. It will happen once only.
Yes. So what you came up while we reached airport, there was no need for you to cry, to be honest. There was no need. You were crying. In fact, you were not sobbing. That's the only thing. Otherwise, people would have started seeing you. Why are you? What happened to you? Otherwise, you were in tears. That's the truth. Why? Because it stuck you.
You mean it's like a otapa, like or something like that?
Yeah. Moral dread.
Which normal non-believer of karma wouldn't get, is what you say. No. Irrespective whichever country is born or wherever he's staying, you might think that because you are in the US and you're seeing this poverty here, you'll get it. No, need not be. Why? There are so many poverty people. Like if I go to Detroit, there are so many people who are in poverty. Will I start crying looking at them? No. And there are so many people who hold, I'm homeless. And they are homeless, to be honest. They are in a most deprived position. I have seen in New York or in Chicago or in any other place. They are. But it is life as usual. So you need to take that. And if you start doubting that, I don't think so, that becomes a issue for you because it blocks you, because you're creating unnecessary doubts. Okay, good then. Nice. Thanks everyone for the sharing. It's very good. You made my day. Thank you. Bye-bye. So we will meet on Wednesday.
Thank you. Everyone, Saranai, everyone.
Saranai.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.